Welcome back to the 2015 Spring Promotion Tournament. A spot in the North American LCS is on the line, and in this best of 5 series between Complexity and Team 8. Team 8 is one victory away from the LCS, and Maple Street, my goodness, he was playing so aggressively last game. That is not what we were expecting.
Yeah, we talked about how passive he can be and how he likes Cogmore, the late game carry, but bringing out the Corki, going huge in lane, was up 44 CS at 20 minutes, as you can see, and completely turned around the game 1 performance.
He certainly did. It was ridiculous seeing what was someone who just sits back, farms it out. It's all going to be fine. This time just throwing those phosphorus bombs into people's faces, and man, those teleport plays in the late game as well were just so strong.
Yeah, CaliTrolls was the other member that came up massive for his team. He's able to get around the fight and impact in so many ways. Yeah. We saw him play the tank the first game. The second game, of course, now he's on an AP burst champion. Gragas just building pure AP and able to get in there and destroy Prolly in that last team fight.
Yeah, and he was always able to get on top of Robert Exley, who looked a little bit uncomfortable on this Cogmore.
Yeah, definitely. And Robert, after having a fantastic game 1, struggled in the second game. We mentioned that he hadn't played Cogmore and then going 2-4 and 6, losing the early game and then playing extremely hesitant in these team fights until he picked up his GA. More of a defensive build, would have liked to see the QSS, and he just couldn't get in a position where he could carry his team.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily all on his back, though, because, of course, that last play coming through from CaliTrolls was really what turned it around, because it honestly could have been anyone's game at that stage. It was just having the stones to make such a play.
But it was hard on the side of Complexity. Picking a support without hard engage, as well as a top laner like Renekton that is so easy to kite, when there's a Tristana, as well as a Gragas on the other team, just means that you can't get on top of people. So without any flashes, without the ability to be able to dive in there and stun someone up, they just weren't able to start the fights they wanted, and you could really tell it was playing on their mindset. They couldn't just get in there and start brawling.
Yeah, but Complexity now are on the blue side. See whether they can use that to turn things around in their favor. Maokai is going to be taken off the board, and of course, Tristana, teammate, not going to let that one be first picked away. And Gragas is going to go back on the ban list this time.
Yeah, maybe just going to look to throw 3 bans at CaliTrolls.
Yep.
Get him onto something.
I wouldn't put it. Actually, no, because to be honest, CaliTrolls plays everything.
He certainly does. Ziggs being taken off the board, probably Prolly's most comfortable champion.
Oh yeah, and that's what allows them to bring these games into such a late game stage as well, just because you can stall out, you can anti-siege so easily.
And Alistair being banned away from Complexity, so it is 3 top lane bans.
Yeah, and they don't want to play that Alistair as well. So not wanting to give that one another go now that Maokai isn't on the board.
So they like
not necessarily considered a counter to that Alistair.
They like the fact that CaliTrolls isn't on a hard engaged tank at this point. He's also not on the Gragas that he showed at the end of last game. Once it was to that point, just did far more damage than Westrice. Nidalee has been locked in. They will go to a split push strategy and look for Westrice to just sit in top lane all game.
Yeah, this is exactly what Zion Spartan said. He said, look, you should split push. I mean, we know that that's all he does. So, that, of course, he's going to recommend it. But it might work out here for Complexity, who need to mix it up. But that has given Slushy his Orianna and Porpoise Pops. He's back on the Kazakhs yet again. And he's been able to make the moves to bring them to victory. And his smites have been fantastic. His control of dragons, incredible.
Yeah, of course, in Game 1, picking 100% of those up. In Game 2, I think Complexity did manage to pick up 1 for the game, but the rest of them did go in favor of Team 8. And we see that Kez once again on Lee Sin, and I'm so happy that Robert is back on Lucian. Yeah. Just a mid-game lane bully that he can get ahead on. This is exactly what the team needs.
We'll see what Maple Street answers with, and I wouldn't mind him playing that Corki again. Interesting hovers coming through. Of course, actually picking up that Thresh could be a very good idea. Dodo did land some fantastic hooks, but getting it off Bubbadub is another really good idea because he was fantastic on that champion.
Yeah, I think Bubbadub needs to play Braum in this game. If this is what we are going to see, they need some form of hard engage.
This is the first time that Dodo's had an opportunity to play Nami as well.
So
we shall see what all this hype is about.
That is definitely his most comfortable champ, favoring that above a lot of things. Not such great synergy with Corki, of course. Corki wants to use more of his burst to get things damage down in lane. However, late game, the utility that comes out from the speed up
Oh, yeah.
As well as the potential for Tidal Wave to allow disengage and turn team fights. Just such a all-round great champion at the moment, Nami.
Not to mention the fact that Maple Street can now bring, you know, what was fantastic momentum on Corki and Comfort into this next matchup as well. And this is the interesting about Team 8. The interesting thing, sorry, about Team 8 is the fact that they save their counter pick for their top lane. You don't often see, you often see that being in the mid lane, but of course, Slushy's just happy to play Orianna into anyone, and Complexity still thinking about their picks here.
So this will be the support and the mid laner coming out on the side of Complexity.
Oh, the Syndra's available. Oh my gosh! Bubadub, of course, a massive player of Morgana, but we've seen her fall out a lot recently.
Yeah, they're looking for the ability to be able to set up picks when someone is looking to rotate into the lane that Westrice is split pushing. So look for fantastic ward control to come out to be able to get vision over the Team 8 lineup and use the Syndra-Morgana combo to lock someone down and pick them off before even going into a team fight.
Calitroll's just trying to work out. Oh, the Malphite! The unstoppable shockwave is now available. And that is exactly the kind of shockwave that you want to be using.
So Malphite being taken into the top lane. It will be interesting to see how Calitroll builds Malphite.
Yeah, and especially up against a lane bully such as Nidalee as well. Do you think that maybe they're going to try and avoid having that lane play out?
Potentially, Malphite does fare quite well in the early game, at least in lane swaps. Can follow his jungler around, get some nice experience. Of course, starting Doran Shield doesn't hurt him at all. Complexity will be looking for a 2v2 lane, just because they do have confidence with Robert on Lucian. And I think that with the Nidalee, Westrice would be comfortable taking that into a Malphite matchup.
Well, of course. And I mean, Nidalee's just been fantastic throughout this particular patch, especially just because she's just such a lane bully, just able to get you hunted and then just pounce onto your face. And it's just ridiculous to deal with. But now the picks and bans are through. We want to know who you think will take this series. Tweet at LOL Esports with hashtag COL win or hashtag T8 win, and we'll display the results during this next game. Do you think it's going to be a 3-0 sweep? And it'll be the final one, and it's going to mean 3-0 sweeps the entire way through. It seemed pretty clean.
Yeah, well, it looks like it definitely could go that way if Team 8 are able to get their team fights once again. And with a Malphite, Callie's just going to be able to use his teleport, get in wherever he wants. And it's very hard to disengage off that, particularly if Slushy's playing his Orianna. We saw him in the first game. Just to remind you guys, he went 10-1 and 11. So he had an absolute beast game on that champion. And with it guaranteed to engage, it looks like Team 8 are in a position to pick this one up.
See whether they do, of course. Complexity do have a lot going for them as well. We haven't seen Nidalee do poorly ever, and Westrice more than happy to pick that one up. Sonic Wave going to hit Bubadub in the head. Resonating Strike not available here for Kez. He hasn't realized that you can't use that on your teammate just yet. But both of these mid laners with a lot of wave clear and of course gank potential as well. That dissonance slow is definitely handy.
Yeah, setting a Syndra is always easier to gank without hard CC on the side of Team 8. It is difficult to gank a Syndra just because of the amount of burst potential that comes out of her. So if Porpoise Pops gets too close, probably might be able to turn around and unload. So they need to be careful of that. Looks like it will be standard lanes. Everyone's setting up along the river, looking for their normal wards.
30 seconds until
Yeah,
minions
nothing
spawn.
much exciting happening. Just sort of the line defense. Please don't come into my side of the jungle.
And you have to think now, this could be the final game for Complexity. Everything is on the line.
Exactly. And
Nerve.
they have to do the CLG at this stage in order to get themselves back into the LCS.
Yeah,
and we know the teams can do it.
Yeah, nerves must be starting to take effect though.
Well, this is where they need to look at their veteran players like Westrice, who of course has been doing this since Season 1. And he definitely is hungry to hold on to his spot in the LCS. So we'll see whether they can rally together and keep their morale high, because that's what you really need to focus on when you're in this really dire situation. Don't let those last couple of games get to you.
And because they have seen exactly where Complexity's wards are, they are comfortable bringing Maple and Dodo into this top lane, although they have now been spotted, so maybe not great timing on that ward. Looking for a blue buff invade and a potential 3 buff start on the side of Team 8.
Yeah, Bob Swap's no leash. He's going to get spotted by Bubba here, potentially.
This could really mess with Porpoise Pop's jungle.
There's the Ignite actually going down. Bubba likes his chances on this one. He manages to secure the buff, though, and flash away. Porpoise Pops, that was a brilliant play.
Yeah, able to get away, but he didn't pick up level 2, which will hurt his jungle clear. Troll's able to pick up level 2 as well as a buffer. Porpoise Pop's got level 2 off one of the little wraiths, so he'll be fine now. So 3 buff start on the side of Team 8. And what a fantastic way to start this game with a great level 1 play.
That's exactly right, and that's what you have to do. You have to try and get your Malphite out of this potential horrible matchup into Nidalee. We are going to see Nidalee actually hanging around with Kez. Westeros, of course, just stealing away these wolves.
And in the top lane, Maple has elected to freeze, whereas in the bottom lane, it looks like Robert will be pushing it out. 3-man squad now around this lane. 4-man squad looking to get Prolly down early, and he is pushing up.
Yeah, tried to get that Dark Sphere, but is that going to mean that he's in range? No, that Void Spike just short. Prolly is going to be A-OK.
However, Kez is at their blue buff. He needs to be careful right now. He's with Westeros, and they are getting a little bit collapsed on.
4v3 potential here. Robert does come up through. Hackle Prison not going to land. This team's just testing the water yet again.
So a good ward placed on the side of Team 8 there, recognizing that they do have the 1-man less in the bottom lane, getting a ward in front of Dragon, making sure no funny stuff goes down early, and holding Dodo in this mid lane, ensuring that they're keeping Slushy topped off against a very aggressive Prolly.
Yeah, not necessarily ensuring it quite that well. Of course, that Dark Sphere Scatter the Weak combination doing a fair bit of work. Trolls gets his passive popped.
However, he's going to be able to pick up the whole wave of experience, whereas in the top lane, Maple Street is still allowing that wave to push into him, so denying Westeros. And Corki will be able to fight Westeros because it's nearly level 4 versus a level 1, although Trolls looks to be getting dove, but 3 members now arriving from Team 8.
A couple of members coming through, of course, Porpoise Pops and Dodo are there. Nice Dark Binding's going to land onto him, but it's going to be A-OK. Of course, the heal bot of Nami has come around the corner.
Yeah, and he still has his teleport. Even if he goes a little bit lower, he'll be completely fine. Now they're looking to try and get the wave pushing in their favor by stacking it onto the 1 minion. However, it still looks like they're a little bit too low, so won't be able to pull it off quite effectively.
Not quite managing to make that one work, but gold is still even. Nothing really going on here at 5 minutes into this game. Piercing Light over the face of this Rock Man.
Yeah, gold maybe even, but experience definitely in favor of the Team 8 lineup now because of just how easily Trolls was able to approach that lane. He's looking to go back and teleport into the wave. Yeah. Now we have a Nidalee versus a Corki, and Nami helping Trolls in the bottom lane.
Yeah, this Nidalee-Corki matchup not going great for Westeros here. 34 CS, theoretically, to 6.
Yeah, he did get to lane very, very late, of course, and now he's 2 levels disadvantage. Calling in Kez for a potential gank, and maybe looking for mid lane. Is able to get a stun down.
Another stun by the Scatter the Weak. Kez not quite there in time to land the Sonic Wave. Flash was still available, so probably no kills going to be going down, but getting that Summoner spell is very important. Probably picking up a friend and exchanging skill shots here. Our junglers. Ooh, Resonating Strike actually used here, but he's isolated, of course. Kez needs to watch out.
Yeah, however, with the mid laner there for support, feels very comfortable going into that duel. Trying to protect the pink ward that is in that brush. And now heading to the north side of the map for what could be the first gank of the game.
Yeah, trying to get Westeros back into this one. Oh, going to walk out of the way. There's a brilliant pounce onto a hunted target. Resonating Strike coming through. There's the teleport from Trolls, though. Is he going to be able to get back? There's the flash. Westeros going down solo, baited by the heal. Maple Street getting first blood. Such calm, calculated play.
Maple Street, the last 2 games, has looked on point. I have not seen him play this well in a long time. Able to turn the gank with his heal. Completely composed play. And they're just denying even more farm from Westeros.
Yep, does manage to use his teleport to get back and pick up the cannon creep, so is definitely good for him. Does get another Doran's Blade, but 17 CS to now 52. The Sheen being finished up. There's a Ruby Crystal as well for Maple Street. He's well on his way to that Trinity Force.
However, across the map, if you do compare mid laners, as there's a gank coming in from
there's the ultimate coming through as well. Command Protect being used. There's the flash duck, but Sphere not going to land. But, the last tick not going to be enough. Probably now trying to turn it around onto Calitrolls, who's come in from the backside. Duck Spear's going to land this time, but Sonic Wave isn't. And Porpoise Pops now going to come and try and turn it around. Stun lands onto 2 members, actually. Very sneaky scat of the week from Prolly. But, man, Slushy was so lucky.
Yeah, just able to escape that gank with a slither of health. Now the Sheen has been picked up by Maple Street. He's confident to go back down to this bottom lane. However, BF Sword on the side of Robert. So he's faring very well. Back to standard lanes. And now, Westrice has the advantage.
He does. 32 to 33, actually. He's managed to pick up a lot of extra farm as Calitrolls has been in the top and Maple Street moved down to the bottom lane. So not too bad by this Nidalee, managing to come back and be that bully that they want to be. And Calitrolls still very, very low. Hadn't been back and, of course, used that teleport in the top lane.
Yeah, and if he does go back, Westrice will be able to get so much work done in this top turret, just opening the map up to himself already. So Calitrolls needs to stave off this push, but with the range attacks of Nidalee going to be zoned off creeps and going to have to farm with abilities, so never good on Malphite's mana pool to do that. Just waiting for his teleport to come off cooldown, but it's still a long time away.
Yep. Thankfully, he does have that passive in order to build up a bit of a shield in order to stop a bit of that harass damage, but not going to be quite enough due to the potential of Westrice on this Nidalee. Probably now zoning Slushy away from this wave.
Yeah, and with both of the Summoner Flashes on cooldown, look how aggressive Prolly is willing to play. He's confident in his kite ability to be able to turn a 2v1 without that hard CC. And just looking to get up in Slushy's face.
Yep, Slushy going to be able to pick up this blue buff though. Probably will be picking that one up soon also. There's the Hunter passive being applied. Calitrolls actually using his flash to great effect, managing to get up to really high health. Landing these spears though, Westrice on point with these skill shots. Calitrolls, a lot of respect for this Nidalee pick.
Yeah, just waiting for the wave to push into him as we have a bit of a gank coming into the bottom lane. Looks like they are out. However, Robert might be a little bit caught.
Yeah. Oh, Akka Prison almost going to land. There's the Dark Binding though. Dodo's very squishy. The Ignite's ticking down. Bubadub's going to be able to pick up that kill. Very nicely turned. And my gosh, Nami underleveled and just so squishy at this stage of the game.
Yeah, fantastic play out of the support player for COL there, landing that binding, allowing the full culling to go through, and they're not done, going aggressive on Maple Street as well.
Yeah, Robert Exley though has to watch out just a little bit because the burst coming out of Corki is not something you want to underestimate. Being said, still doing well in this matchup, does have his support member. Good.
As well as being able to sustain with those potions. This tower will go down,
very,
bumped up
very
a little bit caught.
Going to flash out of the way. Does get a point-blank Dark Binding. Not too difficult to hit.
And still looking for the engage. He has gone with that W evolve first once again, so looking for the slow.
Yep.
I think we had W, E, then W?
I think it was E first last time.
E, W?
Yeah, EW.
So mixing it up depending on the game. Just the versatility of Kha'Zix.
So strong. We've actually seen a Q evolve first just recently as well. Just because that dual potential is handy. That was not exactly as common. That ultimate evolve no longer happens.
And Westrice, with this lane bully, will be able to take down the first turret of the game. So Complexity building themselves an advantage. Kills are equal, but with just pure CS, 67 to 28. Westrice has taken commanding control of this lane.
Yeah, Calitrolls may not be able to make quite as many plays, but of course, all you need on a Malphite is that ultimate in order to make the play. So we'll see whether this CS deficit is going to matter, whether he's going to be able to get the work done anyway.
Yeah, unfortunately, this Malphite needs to be able to also split push against the Nidalee.
Yes.
Because if he cannot, that means they're going to have to send Maple Street to do it, and he doesn't have a teleport. And at this point in the game, it looks like Maple Street is the only person that is in any position to go anywhere near Westrice, who has now got that phage, is heading down for the first dragon of the game, and another dragon tower going across to Complexity and
Maple Street going down to half health there. Robert
Teleport's coming in from behind Robert.
Yeah, here's the unstoppable force potential. There's the tidal wave as well. Not going to hit onto Robert Exley, and look at the black shield there. brilliantly placed to stop Robert Exley from getting unstoppable forced. It's the only way to stop it, actually. Needs a rename, I think. Oh, goodness.
Or just a little bit of fine text underneath.
Yep.
As we have a gank coming in on the mid lane, this will be the third outer turret. So complete control once again of the turret by Complexity. Not able to take that down.
Yeah, Westrice doing a bit of a drive-by there. Andy.
And probably quite low on mana, so just wanting to conserve that in case the dragon fight does start up.
And probably going for a lot of lane dominance, picking up those sorcerer shoes very early. Another Dark Binding landing onto Dodo.
And smart move here from Calitrolls. Recognizes that he can't be in that lane, looking to pick up an objective for his team. However, they just don't feel comfortable fighting this at this point in time. Of course, Robert has got quite a CS lead, up 10 CS, and in the mid lane, 20 CS on the side of Prolly. He's gone to back to buy. Brought up both components of his Athenes already.
Yeah, he's looking very scary, of course. Maybe could have picked up a needlessly large rod, but opting to go for mana regen, bit of extra magic resistance.
Cooldown reduction is never a bad thing on Syndra.
Super handy. You gotta make sure you can get those Dark Spheres out all the time. Calitrolls getting auto-attacked in the face, and Westrice now with a 2-level advantage over Malphite.
And this is just from the one-on-one lane versus Malphite having to stay with Nami in the bottom lane. They built an advantage for Maple Street, but weren't able to convert that into any lane dominance once they went to a 2v2.
Yeah, Robert Exley so comfortable on this Lucian as well.
And so far it seems to be working for them. 2,000 gold, nearly 3,000. It is a 3,000 gold lead.
Yep.
Maths was never my strong point.
We don't judge you. On your maths. The other stuff. A lot, yeah.
And it looks like Complexity have complete control of this map. However, ward vision from Team 8 is quite good around Dragon, so they're going to need to be able to sweep that out before anything can come through.
Yeah, then teleport half done here for Calitrolls. He's not going to be able to get the flank round. Complexity are going to start this one up in full vision of Team 8.
Calitrolls is too far away. He's not going to be able to get there in time. That will be a Dragon for Complexity, and what a turnaround. Great start to this game.
Yeah, brilliant work. Complexity, of course, the veterans here, able to keep the morale high, keep smooth moves happening. But we have seen this happen before. Of course, Complexity have got early leads, but Team 8 just managed to turn it around. We'll see whether they manage to do it this time or whether Complexity can hold on to this lead. This mid lane outer turret is very, very low on the side of Team 8. Oh, there's the pounce coming through. Calitrolls taking a lot of damage.
However, he's built up some resistances in that Chalice as well as the Chain Vest, so not taking quite as much damage as you would expect from a Nidalee at this point in the game. Also, Westrice must be sitting on some gold. He hasn't been back to shop in a long time.
Yeah, it does. Has used a fair bit of that gold to buy some... Well, actually, no, he's only got 500.
He's only got 500.
So, you know, with Merc Treads, pretty expensive.
Has he got full Merc Treads now?
Yeah.
Sorry, missed that, guys.
That's alright. But Phage is picked up as well, so it's still going to be a problem.
Infinity Edge and Trinity Force now finished for our bottom lane duo.
Infinity versus Trinity.
Yeah, so the old Trinity Infinity.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
As well as Athene's picked up on the side of Slushy versus the Sork Boots coming out of Prolly. So he's looking to use some early Magic Pen to burst down a member on the side of Team 8.
In fact, finish them before any components said Athenes. But I think you can imagine that he's probably going to be able to avoid that one relatively soon. And so far, not really a whole lot being done, apart from that dragon, which has put Complexity in the lead, and a couple of towers as well. They've got good control around this map, but Team 8 nowhere near out of this.
And Calitrolls is managing to farm in a very bully-heavy lane. Westrice, in fact, taking a little bit of damage, and with the jungler Porpoise Pops coming up, he needs to be a little bit careful of this unstoppable force.
Yeah, no mana left over here for Westrice as well, so can't really Primal Surge his way up to full health with that there, but not even going to go back. Standoff continues. 4,000 gold now in the lead for Complexity. It is progressively getting larger. Teammate can feel the pressure. You can see all of their warding is around their own side of the map.
But they just don't want to get picked off. They're quite happy to let this go to the late game where they feel they have a superior team fight comp.
Yeah, true.
Kelly Trolls will eventually be able to ignore some of Westerice's damage as they do get the final turret finally. So extending their lead to 4,000 gold in 17 minutes is a good lead. So they're definitely in the driver's seats. However, if this Mel fight continues to farm, gets nice and tanky, and Orianna and Corki are slowly catching up.
Do you think it might be the next Dragon fight where teammate really try and make a move, or do you think that that's going to be too soon?
No, I think they definitely can. As soon as Kelly Trolls hits level 11, and of course Slushy already has that as well as Maple Street, their unstoppable force into the Orianna ult is very good. They also have the benefit of being able to poke around objectives. They just need to make sure that they do it slowly, get some good vision control out, and don't allow themselves to be picked off. Because what Complexity are looking to do is completely strangle map vision. Clear out as many areas as possible around these objectives, and then look for picks with the Morgana binding, with Proly Scatter the Weak.
See whether they do manage to do that. Of course, Kez, known for his ability to ward things, especially on this Lee Sin. Dodo has found his way into the mid lane. Tycool's Blessing is going to be used. Enough speed to get away from that Sonic Wave as well.
And we are seeing Robert XLE versus Maple Street in this bottom lane. Robert electing for, of course,
the Infinity Edge and the Zeal going into
the Zeal.
Static Shiv.
Yep, we'll be going into a Static Shiv. Maple Street, on the other hand, picking up those Sorcerer boots. Once again, looking for some early magic penetration to just augment the damage coming out of his Phosphorus bombs, as well as those missiles.
Yeah, Missile Barrage doing a lot of damage, especially when it's one of those big ones. And still, pretty stagnant game at the moment. Bubba able to clear out another pink ward. Vision control.
And now Sheen's picked up on Westerice. He has much more burst potential. They have started to get some control of this map, although Corpus Pops running straight into a Dark Binding, missing that W.
Whoa. Bubba picked the gap on that one very, very nicely. Really understand how that missed, to be perfectly honest, but 10 out of 10.
And Westerice trying to stack up a large wave here, make it hard for Kelly Trolls to be able to deal with it underneath the turret and just in full split push mode as is Italy.
Yep, I've been listening to Ground Spartan. Kelly Trolls managing to get a nice ground slam on the wave. And you're right, he's not doing too badly because it hasn't moved from this 40 CS deficit.
Well, he's going to be able to pick up that whole wave. And it's going to be even closer as we see a little bit of a blue buff contest coming through here. So maybe our first piece of action in a long time.
Oh my goodness, Maple Street with so much damage. He even still had the heal available. He's going to use it by the end there, and that's the 1v1. Fantastic work. That's going to be the blue buff stolen away, just picked up and thrown. That's going to be fine, but Robert XLE, you cannot do that. Maple Street just with so much burst. And that just shows that this Trinity Force power spike is a lot stronger than just the Infinity Edge.
Yeah, not able to pick up any lucky crits in there. And Maple Street, just the upfront burst of his combo, was able to take him out. Wasn't in time to be able to use it to influence the dragon, and I guess they did get a blue buff for it. However, the important thing is now both of Robert's summoners are down, and they are looking to start the dragon up straight away, so maybe it will be in time. Complexity need to try and poke this one out.
Yeah, both of these teleports are available. Of course, Westerice cannot stop Kelly Trolls, but Kelly Trolls can. Oh my goodness, Dodo's taking so much damage. But Kez gets immediately taken down. Maple Street must have taken Smite somehow. There's the unstoppable force. Proly gets taken through as well. It's exactly what Kelly Trolls needed to do. And Complexity lose 2 members and a dragon.
And straight away, the gold leads back to only 2,000. Great team fight around Dragon. All stemming off Maple Street. He has risen to this occasion so strong.
I'm never calling that guy passive ever again. That was just, I'm embarrassed now.
The caster curse coming out. And wow, Kez just got absolutely blown up once again. And Kelly Trolls, no damage done to the top turret. He was able to teleport in, get his ultimate down, pick himself up a kill, wander back up to the top lane. Completely fine. They're going to be able to pick up the bottom turret if they want as well. And just objectives falling on the side of Team 8 as we take another look at this dragon. So a nice combination comes out to stun 2 people here from Proly. So they think they could potentially get the dragon. However, just so much burst damage coming through, and then the teleport on the bottom left-hand side of your screen just means that a flash unstoppable force, predicting Proly's flash also, cleaning up really another member. And that all stemmed off the fight that we saw 1v1 in the bottom lane, where Robert XLE got soloed out.
Yep, so Robert XLE unable to really get into that fight. I think we saw edge of a culling. The hint of a culling in that fight, but not really. So, probably now able to clear out this wave. Still has that 25 CS lead. 26, 27. Still a CS lead in the bottom lane as well, but we saw that didn't bother Maple Street at all. That guy's still incredibly strong. Almost just a BF sword and a bit away from an Infinity Edge. Robert taking a lot of damage from that evolved W. Some Porpoise Pops.
And they've swapped West Rice into this bottom lane. Now that Dragon isn't an objective, they can start trying to set up around the Baron area. At this point, Static Shiv has been picked up now on Robert, so he's got a little bit more burst potential coming out of that Static Shiv.
Oh, and I really, really like this build coming through.
Oh, there's action in the top lane.
Oh my gosh, Maple Street gets ulted to death. Probably coming through from the side, and I think Robert was baiting him in for another 1v1, but not going to happen this time. Knew that he wouldn't be able to win that one, and Prolly was there. Unleash Power easily going to be able to secure that kill, and that might net them an inner turret as well, so Complexity, again, going to bring out this lead.
Yeah, back up to 3,000, and that was a champion they needed to kill. He was starting to really get rolling on Corky Maple Street.
Oh, yeah.
But Prolly able to rotate up top, and just so much damage potential at this point. A little bit of a 1v1.
Oh, Hunt actually going on to Calitrolls here. Does have Unstoppable Force. He can get away. Resonating Strike coming through. Oh, there's the kick actually out, and the ebb and flow as well. Porpoise Pops in a lot of trouble. Unstoppable Force into the fight. Not sure whether Calitrolls really wanted to do that one. Aqua Prison not going to land it to West Rice either. But my gosh, that was ridiculous.
But all the while in the mid lane, Robert just split pushing. Wow, the damage coming out of Corky, however. Yep. Chunking him to the 3/4 health.
Giving him definitely some bad memories from that experience in the bottom lane. He's definitely going to get the heck out of there. Missile Barrage almost on top of Robert's face. And again, face-off begins once more.
So it looks like Complexity back to their Game 1 playstyle. They're looking to rotate around the map, pick up objectives like turrets, open the map up. However, we've seen with that Unstoppable Force combo, it's very hard to get away from Calitrolls. Even on such low life, that last fight, he still wanted to go back in, set something up for his team. Unfortunately, not able to pick anything up, but no kills were traded whatsoever.
Yeah, and Calitrolls going for that magic penetration build as well. I'm going to go for Sorcerer Shoes. Probably going to be building that Haunting Guys next, and we've been seeing a lot of these Malphites building that Abyssal Scepter, so we'll see whether he does decide to go for that one. And if it is used in conjunction with the Shockwave, that Shockwave is going to do even more damage.
And this is a one-time I agree with Sunfire Cape on a top laner. Just because of the amount of magic pen you get actually allows it to do damage to some extent. Generally, if people pick up as another blue buff is stolen away, that's a really cute move by Complexity, and they've repeated it a couple of times this game, where they just pick the blue buff over the wall and just burst it down. But with the magic pen coming out, going to ensure that even if people build up some magic resist, it's going to be doing damage in the middle of the team fight.
Well, and it's certainly working out so far. That Unstoppable Force onto Prolly was pretty fantastic. But we'll see whether it's going to work out in the future. Of course, the team fight is what Team 8 are looking for. Do you think that Complexity are looking to double split push? Of course, Robert X Lee has been hanging around this bottom lane a lot, and Calitrolls are looking for a 1v1. Not sure whether that's going to work.
He definitely has a lot of burst potential at this point in time, as well as some armor, although Robert's picked up another BF sword, so he's sitting quite comfortable at the moment. Now farming up those golems.
Yeah, another thing that Calitrolls does have with this Sunfire Cape is that he can answer a split push by having a little bit more wave split.
And the game's just completely reset. It actually looks like Slushy will be going for a Zonya's potentially second item.
Yep, Pink Ward has been replaced here. A little brush.
And with only 15 seconds left, once again the vision battle continues. Both top laners with teleport up there, juking it out a little bit. This time, however, Calitrolls needs to be careful. If he leaves, this is a potential inhibitor turret that West Rice is pushing onto, and there's no way that an inhibitor for a dragon is worth it. And it looks like they've given up on dragon completely. They're looking to push mid lane.
Yeah, they've got an inner turret for a dragon trade in their minds at this stage. Slushy's here. They have taken the inner turret. Calitrolls now forced away from this minion wave. West Rice trading very, very well. Now that he has that Negatron cloak and, of course, the Merc treads on top of the Trinity Force, not a lot the Kelly Trolls can do in that matchup just because that Magic Pen not being as useful.
And we see they're now setting up a pink in the top side of the jungle, trying to bait this Baron out, looking for a potential face check.
Robert actually is very far up as far as that's concerned, but I guess everyone can pick each other out. Kelly Trolls now moving around. Oh, the Dark Binding's going to land and going straight onto Kelly Trolls. He's just going to immediately exit this fight, gets kicked into the team and destroyed. Very nicely picked up, and that's a lot of the playmaking gone here on the side of Complexity. Unstoppable Force wasn't used at all, and Complexity look like they've rallied completely after their 2 losses.
Yeah, and now looking to push the minion waves. Westrise straight away back into that top lane. And that's a problem with going a little bit offensive on this Malphite. Of course, it'll end much more damage, but if you get caught like that, you're just going to be exploded. Deathcap now picked up on Prolly, as well as another blasting one.
Oh,
he has just hit a massive power curve.
Yeah, does have that Alacrity enchantment on his boots as well. Does like to upgrade it to his relatively early, does Prolly, but wanting a little bit of extra movement speed this time so that he can get out of the way of a lot of these skill shots. Probably won't be able to outrun an Unstoppable Force Malphite, but he's going to try. He's going to try really hard. Infinity Edge has been finished by Maple Street as well, so 2-item spike coming through from this Corki. It's going to be very scary, but 3 items now done for Robert Exley. Does have that Bloodthirster as well as the Infinity Edge and the Static Shiv. So hasn't even finished his boots yet. So doesn't really care, just wants to get as much damage as possible.
And the pure AD build is so important for split pushing. It means that if he gets the opportunity, he can tear through these structures. As we see Bubba protecting the wards on the side of Complexity around the Baron Pit because they want to be able to bait this area with their pick comp. We saw how effective it is. The Morgana Snare just lasts what seems like an eternity.
It really does. And Bubba, of course, loves Morgana. Played that more than any other support champion. Summer Split. Oh, nice Sonic Wave's going to land on a Porpoise Pops, but he's going to leap to safety. Of course, level 13 does have double evolutions. Porpoise Spikes as well as the leap have been evolved.
And once again, vision control has been clearly established around the Baron Pit. Looked like that spear went through Kelly Trolls. Must have been just over the top of him.
The White getting a little bit upset. Got pounced on. He was having a snooze. Kitty over the wall. It's never something you want to deal with.
Now Prolly on split push duty. Maybe swap him and Robert?
I don't know.
However, it looks like Team 8 are trying to push down that mid lane. Ooh, the face, he's dead.
Yeah, that is a decent. Oh my goodness, is he going to survive? Does get the heal as well. That's ridiculous. Something's hourglass going on with Bubba going to be the focus. The heal comes through. Porpoise Box manages to pick up that kill. The exhaust immediately onto Prolly, but Robert actually, he's got so much damage. Dodo's getting ripped apart. Maple Street, watch out for this gigantic Lucian on your backside. He is going to pick up Prolly, but Robert Exley is so huge. Slushy now trying to do some work. Doesn't have another dissonance just yet.
The flank coming in from Westrise. He hasn't given up on this fight yet. He wants Slushy.
Slushy's in a lot of trouble. There is the Banshee's Veil finished by Westrise as well. There's the flash. He does manage to land the spear. There's the pounce and the takedown for the execute. Westrise, what a beast. Just eating that ignite. He doesn't mind at all. And Complexity turning around that fight so well.
That will mean a blue buff pickup as well as even more ward dominance around this map and the pick comp coming together for Complexity as well as those split pushes. If we take another look, Slushy just face checks the brush, and I don't know how he lived the start of that.
It was a very confusing shockwave.
Able to get his Zonyas out, and this is where the fight looks like it's going to turn. Nice flash Unstoppable Force onto 2 members. Black Shield, however, on Robert, and he just kites back and does so much damage. At this point, Robert's just getting 3 hits on everyone and just completely takes the fight over. Maple flashes forward to pick up Prolly. However, it doesn't matter. Robert just hitting everyone from behind. Nidalee able to chase down Slushy in the end, and it was a 4-for-2, and Westrise now with that Banshee's Veil looking extremely confident on a split pushing champion.
Yeah, looking fantastic at this stage. Robert Exley, I love the fact that Kez just went into full peel mode. He was like, nah, okay, look, this Lucian is going to be the way that we're going to win anything, and I will stick with you. Help carry me, please, Robert. Send me around like your butler.
And he opted to pick up a Negatron Cloak, so scared of the damage that's coming out of Orianna as well as a Malphite at this point of the game. looking to keep himself alive because he realized he is the consistent damage for his team. If he gets blown up, then all the damage goes out the window consistency-wise. Looking to get some vision around this Baron. Nice move.
That big one doing a lot of damage to Bubba.
And good ward set up from teammate. This buys them a couple of minutes. They're going to have to clear them all the way back out. There's some around the top of the red buff as well. So trying to get ward control back, although Dragon up in 28 seconds. So all the wards on the top side of the map currently completely useless when it comes to Dragon.
Yeah, there's a lot of static gold still sitting on the map here for teammate. 5 turrets have been taken of theirs, but they still haven't taken one. If they manage to get some sort of advantage, you could think that the global gold coming in there could be really, really strong. And they're only down about 6,000 gold.
But they're just continually, Complexity is continually looking for picks, trying to not allow them back into the fight. Maple Street once again trying to go aggressive onto Robert, but now that Prolly's level 16, his ultimate will just delete Maple Street.
A lot of pick potential. There's a Dark Binding going to land. Got 3 sort of options for getting these big picks as well, and Westrice consistently keeping down Cali Trolls.
And he's chunked him to half health once again, and the Dragon looks like it will be picked up on the side of Complexity.
Yep, stretching it
much
out to an
better
8,000 gold
objective
well.
control on the side of COL this time. 8,000 gold in the lead. Still have control completely over the Baron area, so can leave Westrice in this bottom lane, and now set up once again around the Baron pit, look for more picks.
Yeah, it's everything going Complexity's way at this stage. And I think the teammate just needs to change up their playstyle, figure out a different way to do this. Of course, we do have the Trinity of items completed on Prolly. Does have that Negatron cloak as well. Triple Negatrons now being picked up by the members of Complexity.
Yeah, so just recognizing that the danger in these fights are the Mel fight with the Oriana ball.
Yep.
Of course, a lot of damage coming out of Maple Street at this point is still magic as well, with that phosphorus bomb, as well as the missiles.
Yeah, but even Maple Street's decided to go for a defensive item third as well. This is often what he decides to do. Dissonance is going to pick up the big Wraith for Slucci. Cares popping a rocket to the head as well. And they are going to be able to clear out these wards. Oh, maybe. Actually, no. Maple Street. Oh. Not sure whether I would have picked that fight instead of Corky. Baron's still doing a little bit more damage than that guy. But Cali Trolls coming through for the flank. Does have unstoppable force, of course, and has managed to push this wave down. This is might be his opportunity.
They know he's there.
Oh, there are the spooky ghosts as well. They're onto it.
What a nice item pickup from Bubba to recognize when the flanks are coming through. If ever that Sixth Sense goes off, he can just let the spooky ghosts out, and they will spot Cali Trolls wherever he is. Really good game plan coming in from Complexity this time around.
Plus, they're just a really cool item. Your movement speed as well. Not too bad. Teammate, though, managing to clear out some vision. Trying to consolidate. They really want to be able to win this particular game. Get them into that LCS. Everything's on the line, and it does seem to me like they're playing a little bit like they know it as well. Nerves might be riding, although, you know, they've got a couple of games that they can still have match point in.
Westrice has nearly finished off this turret down here. Kez has joined him, and the rest of the team is also on their way over, so looking to get the last remaining outer turret, although might just be picking themselves up a blue buff. That has, of course, respawned.
Yep, Prolly definitely likes stealing this one away.
So denying even more resources. It is a massive wave in the top lane, so that's not pushing to their favor at all, though.
Yep, Hunted passive coming through on Cali Trolls. Corpus Pops is here. Robert Exley and Maple Street going for the fight. Valkyrie's still available. Pops the heal. He's actually going to flash out of this fight.
Team's turret has been...
Oh, Cali Trolls actually found Robert Exley, tried to get the ultimate down, but it's not going to really work. Gets turned around on him, and the culling coming through, but gets flashed away from. So Cali Trolls is going to live another day. Oh, Porpoise Pops.
Attempted flank coming through from Cali Trolls, not paying off. 3 members of teammate down very low. This might spell the Baron.
Yeah, they're going to go for it. There's a lot of wards in here as well, though, but they're not perturbed. Sonic Wave is going to get Lee Sin into this one. See whether they can burst this one down. Of course, 2 members still very far away. Maple Street trying to get some poke damage in on top of it, but it's going down very, very low. It's secured by Kez, and the spear and pounce over the wall. Slucci now in a lot of trouble. Westrice wants this fight. Nice shockwave, but that's not going to be enough. That Sonya's Hourglass also never going to be the one to save Spooky. Spooky goes for the slow. Robert Exley is very angry at these guys. Ooh, Dark Binding not quite going to find its mark. Kelly Trolls with his Iceborne Gauntlet finished. And do a little bit more, but not now that it's a 5v3. Oh, Westrise coming in. That takedown did so much damage. Dodo now is going to get culled. Robert Exley on a killing spree, but he is also just gigantic. The inhibitor going to go down as well. 11-6 now for Complexity. 12,000 gold lead. The biggest lead that they've had this whole series, and they are going to break the 3-game streak.
Yeah,
right
definitely
here.
Going for it. Kelly Trolls gets ulted up and taken off the map. Complexity looking to end game 3 in emphatic fashion, and it looks like they've come up with an answer.
They certainly have. We could have the counter. The 3-2 coming back for our LCS pros. And wow, such a commanding game. And I just think that Nidalee, that ain't gonna get through again.
No, Nidalee, that frustrating split push that just took them away from their team fight game. And the picks coming out. The Morgana, comfort pick for Bubadub, so good on it. As well as the Syndra. Just a fantastic all-round played game, and it was from Vision that they got that win.
That's exactly right. And we say that when everything's on the line, you have to go back to comfort. And Westerice, been playing Nidalee in the top lane forever. Bubadub, highest played champion was that Morgana. Of course, Lucian for Robert Exley, he loves playing that guy. Always defaulted back to it because, of course, that Tristana was banned 8 games and he'd always be picking that Lucian instead. So really, really good to see these guys picking up champions that they're comfortable on and then winning this game, and now hopefully can carry the momentum through and bring us to another 5-game series.
Wouldn't that be amazing? The shining light on Team 8 at the moment is Maple Street.
Exactly.
He's come up huge 2 games in a row, was able to solo out Robert and turn a dragon fight in their favor as well. He's looked on point on this Corki, and maybe not as passive as we originally thought.
Yep, no, definitely eating our words on that front. And if you're going to play Corki, you have to be aggressive because that Phosphorus Bomb, of course, Sheenproc combination is so much damage.
Yeah, and he's just able to transition that around the map. Unfortunately, this time around, there was just too much of an insurmountable lead. Slushy didn't have the best game on Orianna, and it just looked like they couldn't pull off their teamfight combo with so many split push options around the map. And great vision control coming out of Kez. Yeah,
it was fantastic. And we know Kez can do that vision control game very, very effectively. And they just had too many pick opportunities. With the fact that they had Dark Binding, Scatter the Weak plus Dark Sphere, and of course the Sonic Wave Resonating Strike, and then the Hunted passive coming off the Spear from Nidalee. It's just ridiculous. There's just so many opportunities to get in and get someone out of a fight.
Yeah, and the itemization out of Bubadub cannot be understated in that game.
Oh, yeah.
When we saw that there was a potential flash ultimate from Kelly Trolls over that Wraith Pit, he had it scouted straight away. The Sixth Sense went off, able to get those spooky goes, completely foil any attempt of a flank. And they just look like they're starting to understand how Team 8 want to play this game.
Exactly. It seems like they may have got them figured out. But for more on Complexity's win, let's go over to our experts at the analyst desk.
Thank you, guys. They listened. They went with the split push, and it worked out for them. Can they do it 2 more times without teammate finding an answer, though?
I don't know. This next game, what ended up happening in games 1 and 2 was that Complexity was banning out the Nidalee, and now that they're back on red side, I think they have to ban it out again on fear of Calitrolls first picking that for himself.
Yeah, Westeros actually did pretty well on that Nidalee. He ended up getting ahead, pretty far ahead, and he was constantly pressuring, and that allowed Complexity to move up, get that vision in, and when you have that Nidalee constantly pressuring a lane, it's so much easier to move around the map, and you saw Complexity actually grouping up, and it was Team 8 actually on the back foot for a lot of that game.
Yeah, and a big thing with that pressure was that it causes Calitrolls, with somebody who can't hold up against a split push, to TP into a team fight, and even if he wins it, they get a turret. But what ended up was Complexity kept avoiding the fight when the TP would come in, and then Calitrolls would get nothing. He'd blow his TP, Westeros would get a turret, and they kept doing that over and over again until they just had this gold lead that they kept turning into more dragons, and then they eventually got the base.
I also question the really early game, just kind of roaming squad with the Mal fight. I understand that he wouldn't have had the best of times laning against an Italy, but if you take the Flask, you take the TP, you go into lane, you pick up as much farm as you can, blow all your Flask stacks, back, TP back in, you would have at least, at one point he had 24 CS to 60 something, right? Yeah. I feel like you would have come away with at least a little bit more than that if you had played it that way.
Yeah, he's done it before. He's laned against an Italy, I think It was against Curse Academy in the top lane, so he was up against Chris. And he's done it before, and he's come out on top.
He's solo killed.
Gotten solo killed, yeah.
Yeah, they got that 3-buff start, but with that Malphite roam squad, you can't really get much done, and you saw that they weren't really able to get that far ahead early. He was down 20 to 60 CS on the Nidalee, and Nidalee was just getting farther and farther ahead of that Malphite.
As the guys at the desk, though, mentioned, Maple Street really a shining light there for a teammate. We're seeing his more aggressive side come out, which I love to see, kind of the evolution of a player. I mean, a couple times it may have backfired. He got a little aggressive, but he did get that solo kill on Lucian, and it shows that he's willing to, to try and make plays if and when Cali Trolls isn't in the position to do so.
Yeah, but we're talking about Maple Street, and a couple things jumped into my head. The one where he solo kills Robert, great for them, but then there was a fight where he did almost nothing. He sat around in that Wraith pit, and I was sitting there counting like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He did nothing for 5 seconds, is 0 DPS, and he was walking around in circles. Like, he literally just dipped into the pit like, oh, no, probably flashed the red wall. I can't do anything, when Robert is pumping damage, and nobody was on Robert at that time.
Yeah, and for a lot of those team fights, the engages, they seemed very, very forced. Like, Cali was like flashing, then like pausing, and then ulting. And those kind of engages are exactly what they didn't need. When you're Malphite, it's just like you just snap of a finger, you ult in when they least expect it, and you go in, and everyone follows up immediately. What you saw that game was, oh, I'm gonna flash, wait a little bit, ult on these two. One of them gets black shielded, and then my team can't follow up. And there was a lot of botched engages on Malphite there, which is the one thing you don't want.
Yeah, tiny bit of hesitation there from Cali Trolls. He was feeling the pressure of that split push and forcing to make a play.
The Morgana pick. A very comfortable pick for Bubba Dub, I'm aware of. I wonder, though, if it was a prediction of the fact that Malphite was going to be picked. Because they threw 3 top lane bans, and then they chose the Nidalee. The only other time that we have seen Cali Trolls play Malphite was into that Nidalee, right? So if you pull that Black Shield out, was that just kind of a preemptive counter saying, go ahead, you can ult in, but you're not going to get all of our priority targets?
Don't know if it was preemptive, but it worked. I can't exactly speak to that, but it definitely worked out there for Bubba Dub.
I also do like the fact, though, that when you do look at Complexity's team composition, they chose, again, comfortable champions. And so you do have that Morgana and the Lucian. It's a very strong lane. If you do land a binding, there's a lot of follow-up damage there by Robert Exley. And it did give him that power spike that, yeah, he did get soloed by Corky in that one fight, but as soon as he picked up the Static Shiv along with the IE, it was pretty much over.
Oh, man, I thought you were going to talk. Now it's just dead air. I talked last time.
Well, but
anyway.
One thing I do want to comment, though, is the fact that Kez has landed on that Lee Sin 3 times. I feel like it might be time for him to switch that up. We go into this next game. I love his Elise. Elise has been up every game, and I feel like he can make plays on it. So it might be time to throw something different at teammate from a different lane, moving on to that red side.
Yeah, I definitely feel like Elise, especially throughout the season, has been his comfort pick. It's been what he's done really good on, and they definitely want to get back into it. Team 8, on the other hand, the Malphite pick, I don't really think that's that effective in Nidalee, but hopefully they're on blue side this time. Hopefully they'll get the Nidalee pick this time, and Cali Trolls will be able to be the one who does the split pushing.
We also haven't seen the Fizz yet. There's a possibility of that coming up. But yeah, with blue side, as you mentioned, Zyrene, they're probably not going to be able to secure that Nidalee for Complexity. So then what's their answer there for Westrice? I mean, you try to counterpick on red side, but we've already kind of witnessed that it's very hard to do that against an Italy, and if a teammate ends up with that in their hands, could spell the end of it.
Yeah, I don't know what he's been practicing lately, because the bans are coming out. There's Alistar, Aurelia's going to be taken off the table. Nidalee is still going to be a ban, most likely from Complexity this time, or first picked. So he needs something else in his arsenal. We saw him on the Renekton, was not convinced by that. Maybe the Mundo, but it's not a strong split pusher. So there aren't a lot of options left in the pool.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to go back to that Renekton again, but they do have the counter pick, so I'm pretty sure they'll leave the counter pick to Westrice so Cali Trolls can't go as Fizz, go something unexpected, like bust out a Poppy out of nowhere, and everyone's kind of not expecting it. And I don't think Westrice will be surprised by what Cali Trolls plays this game, but you never know with him.
Yeah, you definitely never know with him, especially when he has the counter pick. But luckily, they don't have it this game on teammate side.
All right, well, my final point will be one that the casters at the desk made already, which is that every series so far in this tournament has been decided either by a team 3-0ing off the start or a team 3-0ing off the back end. My question to you, Is that trend going to hold up, or is it going to be broken today? Predictions. Zion?
I think Teammate's going to be the one challenger team that breaks the curse. I think they're going to take this next game, or the 5th game.
Okay.
One of these games.
Yeah, I'm definitely on board the Teammate hype train here. Like, I think they're fantastic. I think they have what it takes to just come back from here. They do mess up champion select every now and then. That is something that I've noticed about them. Like, back at Lone Star Clash, they picked a Diana top, and then I talked to CaliTrolls afterwards, and he's like, yeah, it's just not a good champion. I don't know why I picked that. So they'll learn from this mistake and learn from that playstyle and be like, we have to change what we are doing because they changed something that was working for them originally.
All right, well, we will see. We will see if it is a second 3-game comeback in one day, or can Teammate close out the series? We'll find out in a moment as the Spring Promotion Tournament continues. Stay with us.
One more time, baby. We're excited, right, baby?
I am excited, baby.
Resonating Strike coming through. There's the teleport from CaliTrolls, though. Is he going to be able to get back? There's the flash. Westride's going down solo, baited by the heel. Porpoise Box managed to pick up that kill. The exhaust immediately onto Proly, but Robert Exley, he's got so much damage. Dodo's getting ripped apart. Maple Street, watch out for this gigantic Lucian on your backside. Now that it's a 5v3. Oh, Westride's coming in. That takedown did so much damage. Dodo now is going to get culled. Robert Exley on a killing spree.